Ronell, do you feel now that you've seen, an example of how we like to explain our games and just how it was brought up? Do you feel comfortable enough to be able to give us your game that defines you?
Feel a little comfortable.
All right.
I think I see what's up. Right off the top of the head, I'm gonna have to say, one game started off as a childhood thing, right? In the laundromats. Spent plenty of quarter on it, and it's Marvel vs. Capcom. All right. Started off, obviously, you see your people. You see two people. You see Spider-Man. You see Ryu. You see Wolverine, and already I was excited, right? In the laundry room, begging my mom for some type of change to play it. Finally got old enough. Fast forward, I decided to buy the game. Well, actually, I bought it a little bit younger when I was younger too, but my sister's boyfriend stole it, low key, and now it's worth some money. But that's okay. We're gonna get over that. But I bought Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom, and that one kind of killed me off. Marvel vs. Capcom 3. As soon as I got that, I spent plenty of hours being competitive fully to my full nature with characters that I love, and that game kind of sums up my whole spiel when it comes to me in gaming, period. It's competitive, it's quick, and I can beat my friends and make them look stupid.
So I gotta ask, because you were getting a lot of flack earlier for not picking number 2. Why is this better? Why this over Marvel vs. Capcom 2, who everybody swears up and down by?
Look, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is very fun for the casual player. Okay. However, I am not a casual player. Here's why it's good for casual players. A lot of characters. Okay, that's fun, right? Everybody loves a lot of characters. Not good because it's not balanced. They didn't really get, obviously, right? It's back in the day. They didn't get to patch it as much as they could. There's a lot of bullshit that goes on for Marvel vs. Capcom 2. A lot of bullshit that you just don't want to come across, okay?
Stop.
Earlier,
Iceman was bad. I get it. Go ahead.
Iceman, exactly. Iceman, you got
I know where you're going with this. Go ahead.
You know what I mean? You got some shit in that game where if I get a hold of it, most of my friends will literally never talk to me again, and that's not fun. But Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom, Marvel vs. Capcom 3, those games were a little bit more balanced, a lot more balanced, because they can actually update it via online, etc. So for that reason alone, I have to go with Marvel vs. Capcom 3, because I like to play competitively. I ain't trying to be cheesed all day.
Here's my only reason why I find this hard to believe. First of all this looks like an updated version of Beautiful Joe, which what is playing on the screen.
Art style is weird, yeah.
It's making me dizzy. And then secondly, I can't fully trust this because you have Hawkeye as the lead on the cover. Like, of all characters, you was just like Hawkeye.
I like that version of Hawkeye though.
He's cool.
Out of everyone though, that's in this game.
That game brought a lot of non-known, very popular people to the light, which is what Marvel vs. Capcom 2 did, okay? This was Thanos and Blackheart and all types of people who were not the most popular characters for comic books. A lot of the reasons why Marvel vs. Capcom, especially Marvel vs. Capcom 3 and up, are so cool is because they touched on to characters that you don't see a lot of. Hawkeyes. You feel me?
So you like Beautiful Joe is what you're saying, because that's what this is. What from what I'm saying.
Have you played that game? It is a great game.
I just feel like kapow splat is about to pop out.
Literally.
The art style is very different. That was a very big risk that they did, especially since they had it so visually appealing, especially the arcade style of Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I've never really seen this one. I actually just played through Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite just because I like playing games that people say are terrible. And I liked it. If you can get past the weird art style, I liked that game. So I can see myself trying this out, even though it doesn't look the best.
What was the difference between Infinite and this one?
Infinite looked like very new one. It looked like very like I don't know, the like Ryu's face was like big and bulky. Like they were just big buff 3D models that didn't really.
And didn't they go back to 2 players, Pat? Don't you only play 2 players now, right? In Infinite?
Yes,
Two,
it is.
yeah, two
Yeah,
on two.
Yeah,
The
it's 2 on 2.
gameplay is way
Wow,
different.
this is a whole different game.
A
These
The
whole
are-
gameplay is different.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I no disrespect to the game. It's just like this style is
Mm.
just this is I couldn't do this.
Well,
This
look,
game $10 right now, guys.
this is also
No,
PlayStation
it's
3.
in my cart.
Okay,
I'm
this
out.
is
I'm about to buy
PlayStation
it.
3. You got to remember that.
It came out on the
Right.
PS4. It didn't get any better, but go ahead.
Okay, yes, but you got to think about the leap, right? Marvel vs. Capcom 2 came out, who knows when, right? Way back in the day, right?
97, probably 98.
That's way back in the day. I don't even think I was born. I was 7, but they had that, right? They have to come out with a new one. When they come out with a new one, they gotta make it feel like an upgrade. Okay, they gotta make it feel new. It's on a brand new next gen console, right? It's a new game. They gotta make it 3D. They gotta make it. This is what I would say was in at the time, right? This is what people wanted at the
Because
time.
Street
Looking
Fighter.
back
This is
at
what
it,
people thought they wanted.
But aren't they? But I thought the objective was to make it better than the previous one. Like
A lot
just
of
watching
people-
this one, I get it, but I'm like I would much rather play Marvel versus Capcom 2.
There's your Bam
based
and
off
Flash.
appearance
They'd
alone,
actually
We
have
called it. Look, Deadpool doing it.
It's Deadpool, though. It's Deadpool. Deadpool doesn't count.
Whoa.
Deadpool is nothing but a fourth wall breaking son of a...
that's what he does.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
literally beats you with your health bar. He literally pulled the health bar off the screen and beats you.
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He literally grabs the health bar and grabs your special bar and hits you with it for his one of his
hilarious.
specials.
Just looking at this makes me so happy.
I know, Ronell. Listen,
I'm about to buy it.
Ronell, listen, bro. You are a hell of a gamer. I've had the opportunity to play against you in games like Mortal Kombat. You spammed Gearus to the death. It was ridiculous. You used the same combination over and over and over again. You wiped out an entire arena of people trying to beat you in King of the Hill with the same moves.
Good move.
He only has so many moves. How many moves can I really
With that being said, for you to come and choose Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 and calling Marvel vs. Capcom 2 nothing more than, I guess you said that those characters were unbalanced?
It's very glitchy, man. It's very glitchy. It's not a sustainable fighting game.
But you be cheating too?
You know what I mean?
All right, that's what I was like. Wait a minute, what? So you needed a better way to cheat? I need you to upgrade this so I can cheat.
Thank you, Pat.
It's hard. First off, what he said about the spamming was slightly over exaggerated. Okay, slightly.
Pull the footage. Roll the footage, bro. Roll the footage. We'll have it next time.
Hey, look,
The thing
there's
is-
who inspired all this. Beautiful
Joe.
That and
You know what I
Okami. What's the dog from Okami? That dog is literally the reason why I cannot play this y'all. That dog is a fucking cheat code. I
Why
hate
is
that dog.
this is a playable character?
I hate Okami.
It's
That's
so
even not
cool.
her name. I know her name. I see her name up there, Amaterasu, but she's from the game Okami.
Amaterasu.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
she's from the game Okami. Can't stand her.
What game?
Okami.
It's like a little drawing
It's a
dog.
dog
game.
game. It was a great game. The game was great. It's set the test of time. It came out on the PS2. They've re-released it like 5 times. It keeps coming back out.
He needs
But-
to be
Now,
Smash Bros.
Who did you play
Here's
with?
another one that's next. Okay, you guys got to remember too that this is still one of the staples. I want to say maybe not now. It just got overtaken a little bit by Dragon Ball Fighters, but when it comes to fighting games and fighting game tournaments, this game, maybe a little bit of Street Fighter, it's a little bit of Mortal Kombat, a little bit, just recently came back. Were like number one, like because it was so competitive. Yeah, there were some instances where people were a little bit more overpowered than others, barely. This was
I'm
still,
watching.
as far as competitive, top shelf stuff right here.
I can
Doesn't
see
get
that.
much better.
I can see. I can't see that as far as like what you're saying with as far as more professional, like as far as like fighting style wise for competitiveness. Yeah, I can see where you could come with this, and like Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is more like glitchy. Like you wouldn't make a whole tournament off Street Fighter 2 and put a prize to it.
Right. I mean, and they did have Marvel vs. Capcom 2 tournaments going crazy for a while, but the people wanted more, right? They had a whole ordeal where Marvel didn't want to work for Capcom, and people didn't think it was going to happen again, so they had to bring it back. And when they did bring it back, it definitely hit.
But I gotta say
it's a
though,
personal opinion over everything, man. As a fan of not only the very first Marvel vs. Capcom game, but a huge fan of Marvel vs. Capcom 2, I was disappointed with Marvel vs. Capcom 3. everything about it, from the art style that they chose to the character roster, I couldn't get with it. I tried. I tried. I was just as excited. I pre-ordered. I was all the way in.
Yeah.
And I put my thumbs to those sticks and was like, this ain't what I signed up for.
I will say this. When they released Marvel's Capcom 3, the original Marvel's Capcom 3, there was nobody in that goddamn game. That's why they had to come out with Ultimate. And that's the reason why. Because they came out with Marvel's Capcom 3, which was didn't have many characters. Ultimate came out, they had like 50 characters. I think it started with like 25. It was bad.
Jeez.
It was a bad roster.
Was this because? Oh, okay. So the X-Men are in this game. X-Men
are in this one. X-Men are not in Infinite.
Yep.
So there's
Who's your team, Ronell?
Who's your team? Yeah.
Ooh, okay. Slight tricky question, okay? Marvel vs. Capcom 3, my team is Dante,
Okay.
Wolverine, and Wesker.
Pretty good team.
Put them in all black. They look cool, right? Great. But Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom, I switched over to Nova, Frank West, and I would switch between maybe a Dormammu or maybe again just Wolverine.
Oh, so you play the cheat character too in this game.
Who was the cheat character?
All of them.
Right?
I don't think any of them. I don't think any of them was too crazy, honestly. Wolverine was top tier shit for sure.
But he always is though.
Dante was almost top tier shit. For
Almost?
Sure.
Dante had 17 moves.
26. No, I'm just kidding.
He had a nunchuck Uzi move.
You know,
the fact you go almost is
nunchuck the move turn into Uzis, bro. Like, come on.
You that fighter. Okay, you that fighter.
He is that fighter.
Got you. Okay.
It was good. It was fun. You know what I mean? He was just flashy. Top tier people that didn't use Dante really for stuff. I didn't use Morgan. Morgana, the chick with the big tits and the rockets coming out of her back. She was OP. Zero, Mega Man's friend or whatever. He was OP. Dr. Doom, foot dive all day, missiles for the assist, OP. I don't really use OP people. I never do, bro. I never do, man. I picked up the underdogs.
Khleo, who'd you fight with? Who was your team?
I went Iron Man, Deadpool, and my third would switch off. I would either go Ryu or someone else. I can't remember the last one I would go with, but that was usually mine.
Did you play this game, Will?
Yeah. No, not this one. I was 2. I just couldn't get with the style of 3, so I was a Marvel 2 person.
Oh, okay.
Khadeem, did you, Pat?
Nope.
Did I play this? Yeah, when it first came out. I was mad. Like I said, this came out on my birthday, so I have a very strong release with this game. Like, I was pissed when I bought this for my birthday because I was pissed, bro. They didn't have no one in the game. I was like, what the hell is this?
Oh, you got the first one. Oh, okay.
I had the first one. So when the Ultimate came out, I went back and played it again. I was getting my ass whipped by Amaratu, so there's that. I played with Nemesis. I played with Nemesis from Resident Evil. I played with Zero. And I played with my last character. I think I finished off with Iron Man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
If there was a character that you could have had in here that would have made this game just a little more appealing to y'all, what character would that have been if they're not already in it?
Cable.
Cable back.
Cable. That's a great pick.
The character I would have did was change out the whole art style staff. Change them out.
Switch the team. Switch the art team.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I was so touch and go with fighting games at the time. I played all 3 of them for a little bit, and I was like, "This is tight." And I knew what it was, but I didn't have mains or practice or anything.
Was Venom in this one?
No.
Okay.
Oh, that's even worse. You what?
I need my Venom back. That'd be
what?
I need my Venom back.
Yeah,
Venom wasn't in it.
You're not selling this for me, man. I see why this $10 now.
Jesus, it's been out for like 20 years.
Yeah, it's been out for a long time, so I get it. But at the same time, even the roster was pretty bad. At least from 2, it was bad. And then Infinite doesn't even count as a roster. I'm not going to count that.
So can I ask the 3 of y'all before we move to Pat's game? Would you say I clearly that Ronell, you like 3, but for Khleo and even for Pat, would y'all say 2 is where they still haven't beaten out 2, or has there been another series of Marvel vs. Capcom that y'all would say?
I think 2's the best.
Okay.
It's the most fun to me.
Yeah,
I haven't played. I need to play this one more. I'm downloading it tonight.
I'm still stuck on everything about Marvel vs. Capcom 1 and 2. Like Arcade 1-Up is getting ready to release the actual cabinet that
Nice.
includes Marvel vs. Capcom in it. I'm buying it simply just because of the art style and how the design, everything about that game was just the perfect package. I don't know why this one didn't hit. Ronell gave tried to give a great argument for it, but I'm telling you, as someone who was a fan and loved this game, loved the series, and loved the idea of crossing over these two important IPs, it just didn't move for me.
I just found out that Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is on the arcade at my spot, and I tried playing it for like a cool 15 minutes. I rage quit. When niggas are good, they're good. Like I can't figure out how to beat somebody up in the air and follow them, but I got my ass whooped like 50 feet in the air, and I by the time I touched the ground, I was dead.
Right? They give you enough life, Pat, to hit they special on you.
Yeah.
Like you get beat up in the air for all 72 seconds and then fall down. It's like, let me get one punch special.
Look at this. Yep. 3 people? How you getting jumped in the air? Aerial jumping.
Yep. How you do it? 100 hit combos.
No, I'm turning this off. I
hate Dante's sliding with that guitar, by the way. Hate it.
Dude, is ridiculous.
Why?
Because it was so hard to
hate
stop.
Haggard. Like, who is this guy, bro?
Where's he from?
Isn't he from one of the? Is he beats with Final Fury? He's from one of those guys. Final Fury. He's from one of those games.
He reminds me of the character from Full Metal Alchemist, bro. Get him out of here.
He's pretty much another Zangief. I mean,
he's Zangief, bro.
He's nothing but Zangief. Yeah, that's it. Just from a different region of the world. So
Nova, we got to see Nova. You know.
Yeah, but it's also we got to see everybody. If this is an expansion of Beautiful Joe. This is what this is. Like, this is the DLC edition.
One person out of 50.
I know, but they decided out of all 50 characters, let's make the entire game style just like him.
I heard you.
These shadows are too black. And I know how that sounds, but I'm just like, I need some. This is too much depth. It's too much for me, man. But I can say this is a great franchise that can definitely define any person, whether it be 2, 3, Infinite, In the Dark, whatever you want to call this one. They define you either way.